Hey, shalom. Now, I know channels, they get their people and they start giving them a name. Vikings, Bear Nation, uh, I don't even know. I pay attention, but not that much attention. Uh, yeah, the people who follow my daughter are the hermits. Well, you can be a skater if you want, because if you do Sister Kate real fast, it's skate. So, skaters, good morning. I don't know if I like that really. I like saints better. Um, I was looking at the news last night about Laura, Category 4, and that, kind of serious, looking to see what might be going on there. And then I got onto, I think, videos. What was it? It was an article written by a young man. Oh, that's right, about the protests and rioting. Because I thought, one of the arguments that the protest people use is that protests can be peaceful. And it's true, they can be. But when they're protests like 4 days long, at least here, they've all turned into rioting and looting. Oh, no, they haven't. Oh, yes, they have. At least for your top, 5 cities in the U.S., Chicago, Minneapolis, Seattle, Portland, even San Diego, LA. Look them up. They all went to rioting eventually. Now, why did I bring that up? The top 10 cities recommended for people to live in America, well, let's cut it down. Let's go to the top 5 because I didn't remember 5 names or 10 names. All of them have had the protests and the rioting and the damage. And it's the ones I named for you. Portland, Seattle, Austin, Texas, San Diego, North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham. Every one of those cities has had a protest and rioting and looting this summer. Isn't that kind of strange? Isn't it kind of strange? Who describes what the top 10 cities are to live in and what they're measuring the qualification, what they're measuring it by? Net market value, quality of living, etc. And they named all these cities. Democrat governed cities with very liberal politics. Austin and Seattle and Portland are right at the top there. Where's the list of the top 10 conservative cities in America? Where's the list for the top 10 Republican-ruled cities in America? And someone on Twitter made a really good point last night. Okay, if you present your case that liberal cities, democratically run cities, are poorly run, because I also watched an election video by a girl named Kim Klacik. She lives in Baltimore, and she said Baltimore has been democratically run for 50 years, and it's a mess. And she walked through part of the city and said, how do people live in a place where street after street there's just run-down, derelict buildings and nothing like businesses anywhere near them? How do you live in that? And then somebody else said, well, show some proof. What is a Republican-run city that's a good city for blacks to live in? Because the Democrats say that a Democrat-owned city is a good place for black people to live in. And people like Candace Owen and Kim Klacik are saying, no, it's not. And all of the Democrat-run cities have been looted and have had protests in them this summer. So there's business loss, there's tax revenue loss, there's just financial gain lost, because when you damage a business, nobody's making money, nobody's being hired, nobody's paying taxes. I said, that's a really good question. And then when I tried to research that, I couldn't find any stats on that. So where do we draw that Democratic-run cities are bad and Republican-run cities would be good? It's a very good question. I know this much: by living conservatively, my husband and I have not suffered in our life by paying our taxes and buying a house and then selling it, by sending our children to college, by being thrifty, because we did all that on one income. Our life has been pretty good, but my life is not, a rubric. You can't make a generality about everybody from one person's life. I can say our life's been pretty good, and I am not lying when I say that. So I did research the top 50 cities, or biggest maybe 50 cities in the U.S. 37 of them are Democratic run, and 13 of them were Republican run, and 2 run by independents. I thought that was a pretty interesting statistic too. A lot of local politics, Democrats had taken the office. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you know a Republican run city that would be a good city for anybody to live in? And I'm looking at how biased everything is, even in the political spectrum, where the top 5, or it's really 10, recommended cities for people to live in are all democratically run. No coffee this morning. And they've all had protests, rioting, and looting. Interesting, don't you think? All right, I gotta let these hooligans out. Bless you all. Shalom.